the fans. It's a huge comeback. I see both sides of it, I suppose. But as far as panicking about Russell Westbrook, it's way too soon. It's too soon to panic about this LA team in general. And I get it. You're on a team with LeBron James. Even if he's not on the court, there are higher expectations. This is Los Angeles. This is the Lakers. You are on the clock from the moment that you get here. Now, Russell Westbrook was brought here to do a specific thing. He plays 110 miles per hour every second that he's on the court, and that's what he was brought here to do. And this is a specific moments that he is in right now with LeBron being out, because they are an older team and he is the guy that brings the energy. He's going to have to adjust the shots that he's taking. We wondered if this was going to work with Harden and KD in Brooklyn, right? Like, is Harden going to be able to bring his game and adjust his game to work in that system and be a distributor and adjust? Well, Westbrook's going to have to do the same thing. He is going to have to adjust his game, bring that same energy, but stop taking bad shots and be a commander, be a veteran on the floor, make good decisions. I don't think it's a time to panic. It's going to take a little while to get this going. And if you look at Russell when he was in Houston in 2019, 2020, and last year in D.C., he had slow starts and then got it together. It's a very long season. There's no reason to panic. His first 3 months last year, points per game, 19.9. For the first 3 months. Rest of the season, 23.7. Rebounds per game, 9.9. Rest of the season, 12.6. Assists per game went up. Field goal percentage went up. It takes a little while to get things going. There are a lot of veterans. There are a lot of different pieces that have to work together. It's just gonna take a little time. Just gotta be a little patient with this pottery.
There is no reason for panic because this was to be expected. This is simply a dose of reality. This is not something out of the ordinary. This is who Russ Westbrook is. We could go back and forth about the issues with the last second dunk. It's everything else that is vital to consider when it comes to what this game meant as far as Westbrook and the Lakers at large. I'm less worried about the dunk than I am the fact that this was a Thunder team that was averaging 94 points a game through their first 3-4 games and had not won, and they scored 123. And the Lakers are giving up an average of 115. A big part of that is because Russ Westbrook is, as your point guard, the spearhead of your defense, and he's a subpar defender. Carmelo Anthony, subpar defender. Rajon Rondo, subpar defender. DeAndre Jordan, if he wasn't a subpar defender, despite being a big man, he'd still be in Brooklyn. So the issue is what Russ Westbrook creates for you. The saying that we've had over and over is, they got to just let Russ be Russ. Well, Russ has had more quadruple doubles than anybody in the league. It's what he does. In order for him to get those big numbers, you have to put the ball in his hands and let him play this erratic style. That's fine, but it has never worked to a championship level. And yes, he's played with other guys, and he's tried to make this adjustment. He tried to make it with James Harden, tried to make it with Bradley Beal, tried to make it with Kevin Durant before KD left town. He simply hasn't been able to do it. And at this point, I don't think it's a matter of want to. I think it's a matter of able to. This is who Russ is. He plays an erratic, up-tempo style. It produces energy. It produces points. It produces big numbers, but it doesn't produce wins at the most important time of the year. So regular season, yeah, they're going to win more than they're going to lose. Russ is going to have his numbers. But is this, if we're talking about the panic button in terms of this is a reflection that this program is not going to work when it matters most in the postseason, this is evidence of that.
Damn, it's way too early to be talking like that, Slick. Passing out these damn flowers for this funeral.
I was talking about this last summer.
I mean, well, it was too early then. It is way too early now because you actually have 5 games of evidence and you're going to use that against them. Damn. This is how you talk about a future Hall of Famer and Russell Westbrook? Glad you didn't cover football, because I wasn't even a Hall of Famer. I imagine how you covered me. Good Lord, I had some moments, and you won't give Russ Westbrook his flowers, so I'm going to defend him. Not because I'm a Laker fan, because I'm from L.A., homie, and you ain't going to be talking about the homie like that, homie. All right, here's the thing. You act like Russell Westbrook is leading the league in turnovers per game. That's not him. I wonder if Ja Morant is a good player to you. Because Russell Westbrook is right there sandwiched between him and Kevin Porter. But I don't hear you calling Ja Morant out like that. Maybe because we ain't got that topic yet. You act like that Russell Westbrook got the worst plus-minus in the league. That ain't him. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Y'all know about my boy SGA. He a beast, too. Oh, I don't hear you calling him out. We ain't had that topic yet either. But then it's Brandon Ingram, there's James Harden, and then you get to Russell Westbrook. But it's amazing you pick out Westbrook and want to pour dirt on him and not other great players that are not playing so well early in the season. What about three-point percentage? I keep hearing that about Russell Westbrook. He ain't shooting right. Last time I checked, the worst in the league right now, 5 games, Joy, 5 games, Bradley Beal. Y'all ain't calling Bradley Beal out. Matter of fact, y'all trying to trade for Bradley Beal. Every team out there is still. Oh, Damian Lillard. He's having his shooting woes early in the season. We putting dirt on him? Hell no. Y'all trying to blame all of these issues on Russ Westbrook when LeBron ain't even in the building just yet. LeBron James is missing in action in these last couple of games. And you're going to hit the panic button when the star is not in the building, when the main dude's not there? I don't know about y'all, but if I went to see Hobbs and Shaw and The Rock wasn't in it, guess what? I don't think it's going to be as good. And that's what the Lakers are without LeBron James. Not as good. But panic button, way too early back then, Slick, and way too early right now.
Yeah, it's not time to panic. We get through halfway through the season and we're still dealing with this, then we can start panicking. It's a really long season. And despite the numbers that I gave you earlier about how Russ has adjusted from the first 3 months of the season and through the rest of the season, LeBron with new pieces, his team starts slow as well. You remember the Heat in 2010, 2011? Started 9-8. Panic! Panic, mayhem from the sky. It's falling. 2014, 2015, the Cavs started 19-20. 2018, 2019, the Lakers started 2-5. Just slow down a little bit. It's going to be okay. It's a long season. There are a lot of new pieces here, veteran pieces that take maybe even longer to adjust than younger pieces because they do have their style of play. They do bring their own experiences. So, yes, it's going to take a little time to get these things going. I didn't learn anything from the preseason. You didn't have a full roster there giving 100%. This is the oldest team in the league. It's just going to take a little more time to get things going. Now, if there gets to a point in the season where Russ is still doing this, then, yes, we can start talking about panic. We're just getting slight learns right now, and they are as well, and they're the ones that need to make the adjustments.
You guys are acting as if Russ Westbrook has never played this way before. As if this isn't who Russ Westbrook is, and this idea that he's coming to the Lakers, and now he's suddenly going to change and play a different style. Why? Because he has a chance at a championship? He had a chance, supposedly, at a championship when he was in Oklahoma City. In fact, they even went to the finals. Didn't change who Russ Westbrook was. And I'm really, really disappointed in both of you because you have both done the whataboutism, especially you, Marcellus. Instead of looking at what Westbrook is doing and not doing, we're going to, well, what about Bradley Beal? What about Damian Lillard? The difference is that we're not expecting Damian Lillard or Bradley Beal to be the point guard on a championship team. That's where the bar is set with the Lakers. If you were telling me, well, you know what, the Lakers are going to be, they'll be a playoff team and they'll win at least a round or two, I'd say, yeah, I think Russ Westbrook can be part of that program because I've seen him be part of that program. But to be a steadying influence on a team, and what did you guys say about age? LeBron James is in that age category. So all the teams that you mentioned, Joy, that he's able to bring together and figure it out and lead to a certain direction, that was at an earlier time in his career. I'm not convinced that LeBron James is still capable of doing all the things that he did to gather those pieces and make them effective at this point. That's why they brought a Russ Westbrook in here. That's why they brought Carmelo Anthony. The problem is that those guys are no longer, if they ever were, not the caliber of two-way players that they once were. So I just look at this combination And whether it's the way they lost to Phoenix Suns in the opener, or whether they scratched out a win over the San Antonio Spurs, or you're playing, let's consider, they were 40 up 41-19 in the first quarter, and then could not gather themselves to beat arguably the G League Oklahoma City Thunder. If there was ever a time for their experience to come to the fore, it would be in this particular game.
Oh, man.
They do need to finish games. You're right about that.
Yeah.
I would agree with you there. They need to finish games, and it is concerning that they let that lead go. But what Russ needs to adjust is not that major. And what he does and the style of play that he brings is what they need because they're an older team. They need that motor. They need that rage. They need that energy because they're an older team. And that is going to be valuable during the regular season. So what they need to learn early in the season is how to balance